is Custom Works. Brand new channel to YouTube. On this channel we're going to be looking at some of the builds that I do, and I've built cars like this and this and all of these other cars. I've built all of them, and I'm going to be showing you how you can build cars like this easily and affordable. And you know what, not with all the best kit, because I've not always had the best kit, and I've managed it, so you know, if I can do it, anyone can. Also, we're going to be having road tests. We're going to be actually out on the road in some of the things I build, and we're going to do shop stuff, tech stuff, everything you'd want to know. Everything right from the beginning, right to the end of how to build the car of your dreams. Alright, here we are. This is the latest thing we're working on at the moment. It's been a long-term project. This is Formula Tron. It's got the Tron name. All my best cars always have the Tron name, and hopefully this is going to be one of them. You know, you can be the judge of that. You know, put your comments down below. Started off with a London taxi. I think the London taxi was 1996 taxi. And first off, we removed the body and we stripped the chassis down. Once the chassis was stripped down and we had the body off, first off, what I did, I mounted the doors to a framework and got literally the doors as narrow as the chassis is to give it this more hot rod tapered look to it. So that involved taking 14 inches out of the width of the car. We also chopped the roof by 4 inches, reskinned the doors, and then they've been sectioned to form this fixed panel, and also so we can have this large side skirt and air duct just here. So really there's not a lot of the taxi left, but as you'll see in a lot of my builds, if ever you try to build a door from scratch, wow, it's really difficult. Like, it's going to take you so much time. So even though this has been highly modified, we've still got the original taxi door, which means we've got an electric window. Got a bit of overspray on it, but that'll clean up, you know, got to polish out. And it's just an easy way of doing it, starting with something and starting with some doors. So moving inside, our first thing we see here, this is under the bonnet is a Lexus V8, and this wing mirror is just the Lexus mirror, and we've reshaped this with fiberglass, gave it a nice sort of more modern look, and that's just the Lexus wing mirror. Yeah, if you've got it lying around, you might as well use it. Moving inside the car, obviously there is absolutely a ton of dimple dyeing in here. Just before lockdown happened, all I had was steel, a welder, and a dimple dyer. So a lot of dimple dyeing, some Cobra seats that came off of eBay. Basically everything, obviously other than the seats, in there is scratch built. So the whole concept for this car, and like, you know, the overall kind of sort of view of the thing, is that it's a hot rod, but it's been like, I don't know, like infected with supercar, or maybe it's a supercar that's been infected with hot rod. I don't know, but I wanted some way of saying, is it a modified sort of modern car, or is it an old school hot rod? And I wanted to build a car that's somewhere between those two things. So we've got the narrow front, we've got the fenderless front. As you'll see around the other side, there is a bit more that goes just here. But we've also got this sort of Veyron-esque sweep at the back, coming out to these flared arches that cover the 24-inch wheels, and these are monstrous wheels. And also, to get these wheels onto the taxi stud pattern was really difficult, and in future episodes we'll be looking at how we did that to go from the 6-stud chassis hub, what am I even on about? From the 6-stud taxi hub down to the 5-stud Jag Chevy stud pattern to get these wheels on, but whoa, they were hard work. Okay, then move around to the back of Formula Tron. You know, most noticeably, we've got this like huge wing on the back. The wing is adjustable electronically, and it started off big. You know, I've put a load in the middle of this. I've made it even bigger, and you never know, it might become bigger still. We've got a fuel cell, got the exhaust coming up there, got a bit of carbon fibre going on. You know, there's still work to do on the back, and all of that work you'll see here on this channel as this build goes from this point right through to completion. Moving around to the other side of Formulatron, this is the side that's probably a bit more finished. A lot of the time I'll build a car and I'll get one side like just exactly how I like it, and then when I like it, then I'll do the other side, because there's no point building both sides of the car, hating it, and having to throw two lots of stuff away. So moving down here, we have the same Veyron-esque suite there, got the same wing mirror, and then we've got this this bit of aero that comes behind the front wheel, so the air can move right through there, and that bit isn't on the other side yet. I've got to make that bit, so in a future video we'll be looking at how this is made, how to get things that are sort of spindly and seemingly floating to be very rigid, and yeah, we'll be looking into that in a lot more depth. If I just come round to this side and then we open the door, again inside on the driver's side, a lot of dimple dies, the floor's detailed, the gear shift and all the linkages detailed. All this is just in bare steel at the moment, but you know, this is all going to be painted and very nice by the end of it. So, other points about Formulatron. We've got this sun visor here, and you'll notice on a few of my cars this same sun visor. Why are they all the same? Because they are part of the boot off of a taxi. Boot off of a taxi just has got the perfect sort of curve to it to make a really good sun visor. I'll be showing you all how to do that in future episodes. You can pick a boot up for pennies, and once you know where to cut, the minute it doesn't look like a sun visor, it looks like the boot off a taxi. The minute you've cut it out, you think, whoa, there was a sun visor in there all along. Moving around to the front of the car, if I just move over here, we see the headlight situation. And the headlight situation, first off, I made this kind of pod with a sort of vented cover that opens up electronically. I wasn't too keen on that. And then I've made this, which I'm going to call the, you know, what the hell was I thinking headlight situation. All of this is going in the bin, and I'm going to be mocking up and making some other headlights. I always think if something's wrong, it's just got to go. You can try so far, but if you keep trying, you're just wasting time and you're wasting materials. And again, in future videos, there's a lot of future videos, isn't there? There's so much to look forward to, or not. These will be being made, remade, and hopefully it will get the design right. But you know, if the design's wrong, and I'll always be saying this, if the design's wrong, it's just got to go in the bin, you've got to start again. Until you're happy with what you've made, there's no point proceeding. On the next episode of Custom Works, we're going to be taking a look at Dualatron. Dualatron now is almost 10 years, it is 10 years old, and we'll be looking at how this, my first ever creation, was, you know, brought together, the hideous conditions it was built in, and then the life it's had since then. You know, it's back on the scene now, it's currently being restored, and it should be at shows next summer. But next episode is going to be great. Build-up shops, everything. I know a lot of you have been asking for this on Instagram, so next week is your time. So that's it, almost at the end of the first ever episode of Custom Works with me, Paul Bacon, and that is pretty much it. You know what's going to go on next week? We're going to be looking more in depth at Dualatron. Here's some other stuff that's just knocking around in the garden. This is the Lexus, the beautiful LS400 that we've took the engine and gearbox out for Formula Tron. And this is a car I worked on, one of my most recent projects. It's never been anywhere. There's been a few photos on Instagram, but that's it. Literally, it was finished, then the whole coronavirus thing hit, and it has sat here for 11, 12 weeks, hasn't been started. In a future episode, we'll be starting up. This is a car we'll be looking at in some more detail. There's a few problems with the paint we've got to sort out, And also, it's never been driven. It's a car that's just, it was finished and never took on the road. So we're taking it on the road. Is it too late? It's going to scrape on the road? I don't know. But we'll be doing that all in an upcoming episode. If you liked it, click subscribe, click the bell icon for updates, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Actually, Kurs, could you open the door? I'm stuck in the car. God damn, this thing is tight! Ah.